So what were you trying to fix and why did it matter to your business?
Sure. We had a number of areas that we were looking at to find a solution. One was we have software that's used internally that we have an inventory of that software, and the information wasn't reliable, had inaccuracies, and so we were struggling with how to resolve that. And secondly, we have a very cumbersome document-driven validation process where documents were residing in disparate systems, and it was difficult to not only operate in that space, but also pull out information, report on that. And then third, we had very little visibility to changes. And I know the ServiceNow platform not only managed our list of our applications, also it has change management opportunities. So we're looking at something in that space that could help us with those three areas that we were struggling with. So what made you confident in your approach, and what did your team uniquely bring to the table for this solution?
So we knew that we work with life science companies only, and we knew that a lot of life science companies were using ServiceNow, but what was lacking was that regulated layer on top. So there was a lot of work still being done outside of ServiceNow because the validation wasn't covered and the regulations weren't included. So we built ProcessX to solve the problems that Abbott and many of our other customers have. Liz, what did your team first notice after go live?
We needed a very strong organizational change management process. We have thousands of applications. All of those applications require to follow this new ProcessX process. So what we noticed was that we knew it would be a high learning curve. However, the learning curve was reduced because the look and feel of the solution is a ServiceNow look and feel. We also saw that people were motivated. They were looking forward to reducing the burden of maintaining information in disparate areas. They looked forward to reconciling and providing accuracy within the application inventory. And they saw the potential of this information going forward that could be consumed by downstream processes. So I would say, while there's always, a kind of a hurdle to overcome when change is implemented, there was a lot of engagement right off the bat. So I would say that would be our first, takeaway when we went live.
What are the results and outcomes you're most proud of?
I would say the issues that we were looking to solve were solved by ProcessX. So while, like I mentioned, leaning into a new platform is always, I will say, an organizational change management opportunity, we were able to see that our business application inventory was more reliable. We were able to navigate our validation process more efficiently. We saw a 20% reduction in time it took from start to finish with our initial records. And then we were able to partner with areas like privacy, cybersecurity, and legal because the information was accurate, the information was available, and then the downstream controls could be put in place to consume that information. So I would say we met our objectives, and that was what we were quite proud of.
So what is the stat or the win when you tell this story to your peers?
So being in a GxP regulated space, it's difficult to quantify financial or speed metrics. What we would think of as a win is that we are more compliant. We are able to reduce the amount of audit findings that the organization was unfortunately dealing with because of the inaccuracies in the inventory or the outdated information in our validation deliverables. So we were, I would say the big win is that we are seeing higher level of compliance. So what does the partnership do with ServiceNow that you would be unable to do on your own?
I think we chose to build on ServiceNow because it's a trusted platform. So that really gave us an advantage. Again, having companies that were already using the platform, were happy with the platform, it gave us the ability to really expedite the build and taking it to market. So what are you planning on doing next, and how can ServiceNow and USDM help you?
Sure. We are looking to increase the utilization of the solution, meaning that Abbott being a large company, we're not all in yet. So I know USDM can assist with making sure that our growth, the platform is ready for growth, as one option or one aspect. Another is we are looking at ways that we can increase, or I should say introduce AI in terms of the review of certain complex records. So those would be the two areas that we're looking for in the near term.
What would you tell another organization like Abbott early in the journey?
I would ask them to look at the areas that they want to see improved in terms of internal quality processes. Understand what the issues are, what is the appetite in the organization for change, and then look at what organizations, what functions own the information to start, and then you can build upon that. Define your workflows, define your processes, make sure that your policies are clear on what the rules, the definitions, the approvals are, and then you can move into providing a solution. And once you do that, the benefits will be there.
Why should someone watching this care about the USDM and ServiceNow partnership?
The partnership is important for regulated GxP processes. What we were not able to identify a solution for on the ServiceNow platform on its own, USDM provided us. So it was the ability to include audit trail, electronic signature, change control, and moreover the expertise from USDM in those processes to make sure we were building workflows that were not only compliant with our requirements, but also support inspections and audits. And that's a key part of our day-to-day business at Abbott.